Have you ever felt someone staring at you? They didn't say anything, but you look and they were looking? Happens to all of us, probably all the time. So how does that work? Right? Because they're maybe behind you, far away, maybe, and you feel this, right? You feel someone staring at you. There's a lot of scientists that have tried to study this. They say, well, it's really your peripheral vision, and so it's a form of survival. In case a predator is after you, and who knows? I mean, I believe all of that, but I want to focus on that energy, right? And this is either you believe it or you don't. But I believe that that stare that you feel, because sometimes it's not peripheral vision if they're behind you, but I believe that stare, that thing you feel and you look and you felt that energy when someone was looking at you. I believe it's energy, and I probably will do a more in depth episode about some of the studies they've done and so on. But the Earth is a magnetic field, and there's energy all around us. I mean, how does Wi-Fi works, right? Like, how do you don't see Wi-Fi, and yet it travels and reaches your phone or your device. Anyway, there are elements that we don't see with the naked eye that are all around us. I mean, you feel even there's certain gases and so on that you don't even have to smell that to know that they're in the air, and some of them can even be toxic or deadly. But I say that to say that if you rely on your five senses for all the information that you need, then you're gonna have a hard time, because I think our five senses that we have labeled are very limiting, and they're very physical and very um they're kind of like touch, smell, vision. I mean, those are obviously, we have these, but I believe there are other senses that are not necessarily part of those, and I do believe that we have those, and you can actually do this to yourself, and start exploring these senses, if that's something you believe in. If you only believe there's five, then there's not even any use for you to watch this. So just like you feel that stare coming at you, and this is how it relates to seduction or the human connection, you can also be the starer, right? You can look, I don't know, maybe on the opposite, you've looked at someone and they were over there and they felt you looking and they looked. And if you really pay attention, probably happens all the time. So what if instead of this being just some random act of energy or whatever it may be, what if you developed that? Right? What if you took that and you got better at it? Is it possible? Well, I'm going to tell you that it is possible. You can actually get stronger at this. It's not, I mean, it's got to be energy. I mean, probably there's not a name for it, but you can get stronger at it. So just like I said, if you're looking at someone and that you haven't said anything, they're over there and they feel you looking and they look, you already have that obvious power. So now if you practice this consciously, not, you know, there's been times, you look at a pretty girl somewhere, you just admiring her, you're not, but she feels it and she looks, right? But what if you did this on purpose? What if you started everywhere you looked, commanding that attention, and imagine just looking at someone, and that someone just feeling that gaze, right? That's very possible. And I believe there's some people that master this. And I believe the way you master it is practice. Practice makes perfect. everywhere you go, don't be a creep, right? Obviously, I'm speaking of, this is something for you to develop for you. Don't stare stare women down or whatever and make them feel uncomfortable or anything like that. I'm speaking of, you're somewhere and there's someone far away. Just next time, just really focus that gaze and and just send that energy their way and see how long it takes for them to look. Because if you're doing it right, they're going to look. Sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it's right away. It might be another theory here out of nowhere that the receptor, right, the person receiving that energy or that gaze, they have to be in tuned as well, right? Like it's like an antenna. They're an antenna, they're the receiver, and you're sending the signal. And if they're aware and in tune, they're going to receive it and connect. And there may be, if it doesn't work with everyone, it might be those receivers are not in tune. They're not aware. There's too much noise, energy noise, that might not allow for that energy to really connect. It's almost like you're the Wi-Fi tower, and let's say, let's put women out there. These are the phone and the laptop, and each one requires a different kind of connection method, right? But the Wi-Fi signal is coming from that tower, just being sent out. So if you become that tower, if you start seeing it that way, and you start just just really practicing on how to send this energy out, you're gonna notice a big difference, and it won't take you long until this becomes something so natural that you don't even realize that you're doing it. And you walk into a room and you can look and people feel you. Literally, they can feel your energy, your presence. And I wanted to put this here. I mean, I've been working on a more robust episode. I like to really, really research and go into, well, why do these phenomena happen, right? And I like to go into the scientists that have taken the time and years to come up with theories of why and so on. But I think that this basic fact that I'm giving you of that energy exists, and you can actually get better at being the transmitter of that energy. And also you can get better at being the receiver of that energy. So if you like whenever you're bored somewhere at a waiting room somewhere, start doing that. Just look at someone and try to get their attention. Send that energy their way. And like I said, it's not going to work every time because not everyone is in tune. Some people are in tune to something else. But you're going to find that you are able to reach a big number of people and they don't even know how or why. So if someone might find this interesting, please share it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And do use these powers for good if they're powers. You don't believe in it, then it doesn't matter, right? But if you do, just you always have to be aware. Like for example, so you start doing this, and then you have people looking back at you. Have a reaction ready or look away. Like what's your exit strategy, right? You can't just be that creep that's staring at people. No, that's not the way it works. It starts within you, and this is just a fun experiment you can do. And I'm telling you, if you practice this enough, you will get so strong at it that it'll amaze you. It really will. You're like, wow, I'm commanding people's attention and energy without even talking to them or calling them or touching them, nothing. Just my energy here is attracting energy over there. So it could be fun or it could be creepy. Stay away from the creepy guys. Man, do what you want. I don't care, but just be careful. All right. So until next time, peace.